they like how it keeps them, when I say healthy, I mean like, in check, if you will, with diet and prep and off season and those things and the accountability of it. But whatever your why is, hey, find out your why and go for it, because a lot of us go through life with no whys, right? A lot of us are just going through life. And I always look at people and I'm like, man, if you gotta have that little something for yourself, right? You could give yourself to everybody, to your job and your family and everybody else, but when you look in the mirror, what are you doing for you every day? What's that little thing that makes you feel alive? And find that and chase that, because bodybuilding, that's what it is for me. That's my little me time, where I put my headphones on and it's just me against the weights, because every other 23/7, it's me against the world, right? And then that 1 hour I give myself, that's me against those weights and me against me, and I like that. So yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm a particular type of criminal, and I don't have a plan. I just love anarchy and chaos. But I do enjoy you, ladies. You excite me. Particularly, you're good at something you never do for free. But you know what? I have to respect your game. So, just a fan. So yeah. So what's the plan for 2024?
Oh, the plan is, I was just talking with my coach the other day, and so we're gonna take maybe a few more months, see what happens, because the scale's been moving up a little, and the definition's popping where it needs to. And then we're gonna figure out which show we're gonna do, and then it's gonna be, full steam ahead. It'll be a fall show sometime, maybe August and September. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
I think you have the I think most definitely you have the Arizona Pro, which is part of the Rising Phoenix. That's it, and also there's the
Yeah,
Legion show, and
yeah.
the Olympia is coming back to the West Coast.
I
They're gonna
know.
have
I
it
may or
in
may not
Vegas.
already have my hotel room booked.
I like it was closer because I live in North Carolina, and it would
Okay.
be great. It was closer for me, but I remember with my first bodybuilding show that was Savannah about a couple of years ago. It was great to
Oh
go
yeah.
there and to meet people. Like I met Lena Popa. She's going to do a new show
Hmm.
coming up in September. I met quite a few ladies who compete in the sport, and also I've done some interviews with some ladies. I remember
Yeah.
I got to meet with Shauna Boswell, who I interviewed about a few years back, and another lady who I interviewed, and and just being around you ladies and really being a fan and just at awe of what y'all do and how you put into this work. I mean, the first time I actually did meet bodybuilders was about a couple, was maybe a few months before that, when a guy named his name is Glenn. He runs his own magazine and he does dedicated a lot to women bodybuilding, and he was doing a debut of his magazine, and I was there meeting some women, a couple of ladies I interviewed. One of them is also he was one of Shelby's clients. That's Amanda Snooks, and that was before she turned pro. And also Marianne Wachowski. Sometimes she comes out here and do live stream with me and some other people. I really respect what y'all ladies do,
Oh, thank you.
and I respect all competitors. I mean, I grew up watching bodybuilding
Yeah.
since I was a kid. You used to catch it on television. Arnold and Lou Ferrigno, and you remember guys like Frank Zane and Lee Haney and Dorian Yates. But y'all women was something different for me, especially when I was getting to my teenage pubescent years. It's just something different overall. And when we talk about pumping iron, that is a classic. It's really for those true fans. I think there should be more opportunities for y'all women. I know everybody can go with like wellness is the new division. It's very popular because has it mixes two divisions. It mixes bikini
Yeah.
with bodybuilding. The
Yeah.
girls they have the lower half of the bodybuilders are up out the bikinis. And if I talk about, I always say like this, we all know that the bottom bitch of bodybuilding is the men's division. They're always going to bring in the money. But
Mhm.
you women in the other divisions, y'all work just as hard. I think you deserve just as much recognition and consideration. Like I said, prize money should go up a little bit. I mean, just come on, come on. You got to
Oh,
think
that'd
about
be
it. If you do a
great.
show,
Yeah.
yeah, I know a lady who I interviewed I met a while back with Charlotte Boswell. She did the Olympia Masters. She got
Yeah.
$10,000. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest paydays next to the Olympia and the Rising Phoenix for women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I think even Andrea should get at least, I would say, $100,000 more at the Olympia.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
can even if
Yeah.
you feel if you can walk away with nearly $500,000, and you just get enough. Maybe Sarah, which like I said, I wasn't a big fan of Sarah, but I respect what she's been doing. Put
Yeah.
her money where her mouth is. where a lot of people, and
So
also Natalia, where she's doing money for the upcoming Triple O show.
yeah, and so that's to me, you hear two arguments. You hear people talk about you don't bring butts in seats. Well, there's no statistical analysis that's been done on women bringing butts in seats, right, during the Arnold or any other show, unless you go to like an all-woman show, right? But then that you can't. You're comparing apples and oranges. Um, I just find it interesting that when you start cutting, first of all, when they pulled that crazy stunt of pulling bodybuilding out of the Arnold and then the Olympia, when they pulled the women open bodybuilding, I thought that was just insane. Because those are the godfathers. No matter whether you're bikini, wellness, physique, figure, or those women, those are the pioneers. The Iris Kyles, the Linda Murrays. Like you are pulling, like Iris said in her interview, you're taking a baby away from its mother, right? Like, so when they put that back in, I was like, okay, we're back at it now. They're gonna do this, and then they dropped physique, and then they dropped figure, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing here? Because yes, bikini. There's a lot of bikini shows. There's a lot of opportunities for bikini, and I don't know. It's an interesting concept. It's frustrating because when you hear them say, well, men bring the money in, I'm like, they bring the money in because you're telling me that these men want to come see other men, but they don't want to see those bikini girls, and that's why you kept bikini, and that's why you kept wellness. Really, come on now. So the message is being mixed, because then they talk about money, and then they're like, oh, we just found $500,000. So year one, it's about the money. We cut y'all because we're saving money. Year two, it's here you go. Here's an extra $500,000 we just found. So the messaging, because what I do for a living is I listen to people talk and I analyze what they say. Your messaging, and it's not quite there, which is why I think a lot of people are confused. And I'm not going to go on a tangent about, people compare it to women, to WNBA and all these other sports. Like I'm not going to go down that road because I'm not a promoter. That's not what I do. I'm on the other side of that, right? I'm grateful for the opportunities that we do still have, and I want to see that thrive. So instead of focusing on like what they've tried to take away from us women in the sport, I'm like, let's pivot and let's focus on the women and the men that are supporting us. Like let's show up and show out at those shows constantly at the amateur level. Pros need to start, we got to get out there. We got to show up and show out at our amateur shows and support that. And at, whatever local gyms that have trainers and, things like that. And I'm always about starting even with younger girls. You got girls that are coming out. My niece, she does competitive stunt cheering in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. She was cheer her life. That little girl got some guns. She built, and I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, I'll see a future fitness competitor right here. She don't know it yet, but she and Auntie are going to talk soon. Because that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's like anything else in life, right? You want to start with these younger girls and you want to get them interested and excited, and you want them to see that. So for me, that's one thing I love is when I have younger girls, like my oldest son's age, or even my younger son's age, right? These girls see me and they're just like, man, that is so cool. I'm like, yes, because I will tell you, George, when I was in 6th grade, across the street from my elementary school was a Gold gym, and it was on the corner. And there was this lady, her name was, her last name was Hamlin, and her daughters one was older than me, one was younger than me. And it was a bodybuilding gym. And I remember walking out of school and seeing this woman like in the windows at this gym lifting, and she'd show up to pick up her daughters, and she was all but probably 5'3", 5'4", and just jacked, And I remember at that age being like, man, this woman is badass, And so probably back in my little psyche in 5th and 6th grade, seeing this woman, like she doesn't realize that I still to this day remember that woman and her daughters because of what I saw. Like to me, that was power. That was strength. That was the ultimate woman. right? That was all the things in one. And so I don't know. I think there's something to be said about us getting out and, letting the world know who we are, and
Mhm.
influencing this next generation of women, to be
Mhm.
like, hey, you aren't gonna look like a man. If you want to, great. There's ways to do it, but you ain't got to, and that ain't gonna happen. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the sport, love the people. I just want to see it continue to flourish and grow.
Yeah, that's always gonna be debate, about well, who's bringing the money, who's into this, but it's about who,
Yeah,
like, especially as I said, I'm a fan of you ladies.
yeah,
I support some guys. I've even had some guys on my just come interviews with them. Some amateurs, not some pro level guys. I might need to say, try to hope maybe down the road reach out to some pro level guys, but it's where everybody starts and how they begin and how they grow and how
yes,
they evolve.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I've talked with some of these ladies, I say like bodybuilding is not a marathon. It's not a race. It's a marathon.
Oh,
It takes
amen.
time and work in here.
Yes,
We got here. This is from my man Davy. Said, "I'll be age 30 in August 28th this year. Congratulations! I remember 30. That was a
happy
long time
birthday.
ago." This is from man Balls Deep. He says, "Good evening, gorgeous." Yeah, you got to cover Balls Deep. He says, "It's from him also." He says, "Word up and salute." Also, he's from Chicago. Chicago in here.
Hey,
Also,
Chicago.
he says, smash that like button. Also, he says, peace and blessings, beautiful. He says this, he says, uh, he says, she's sexy and swole as AF. And also, he says this, uh, Schmo gang. So, and also what's her tattoo? So you have a tattoo there. What's
I
this?
do. So this was one of those 18-year-old I'm gonna go get a tattoos. It's my initials KO. All right,
Mhm.
that's my nickname growing up. It's my family, friends, KO. Everybody calls me. I got elementary school friends that still call me KO. So my dad, real quick, just side story. He never had sons. My dad's Puerto Rican that raised my sister and I, and his last name was Otero, but I took his last name when I was very, very, very little. And I was told him I'd keep my name. So that's why you see me hyphenate now. Because I was like, no matter what, I will always be an Otero. And so love my dad. Great man, taught me everything I need to know about being a man if a man wasn't around, And so
Yeah.
yeah, so
Oh,
that's that.
so you're half Pecan Rican, huh?
No,
Yeah.
no, no, I'm not. I was raised by a crazy
Oh,
Puerto Rican, but yeah. So
oh,
my
you're
mom was
raised by.
born. Yeah, yeah. So my mom
Oh,
is actually she came over here to the United States, and in my interview I kind of misspoke. My mom was actually born in Nuremberg, Germany, and she's Czech. She came over to the United States when she was young, and my biological father's black, and so I'm black and Czech. But
oh,
my mom met my dad when I was just an infant, really, really young, and my father that raised me, and yeah, he's my dad. So
word.
I grew up a Boricua, but I'm not native, if you
Well, you
will.
look like you could be. That's the thing. That's the thing. Being that your
That's what I
father's
hear from people
black,
all the
and
time. I
yeah,
know.
you got like your passport. Hey, it's just, the look is just what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
but I remember what was it for the movie? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 says, you know, he may not be he may be your daddy, but he may be your father, he may not be your father, but he ain't your daddy. That's
Amen.
I love
That's
that
right.
quote.
That's right.
And like this is the thing is I said again, it's good that he stood by you, took care of you, stood up to
Oh
be a
yeah.
man, raised a good, strong woman, a loving woman who works also she's a fed folks. So okay, everybody watching us right now, so I pay all my taxes. I don't pay taxes when I get disability, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but it's a lot to the sports set again,
yeah,
and a lot of time you got to put into a lot of work. I know guys out here, these guys, like I tell you this, like I said, Karrisa, when these guys come in here, as they saw your pictures, they got excited, they act like George got a new girl. She fine as a motherfucker. So they get excited when you get these new girls in here. And there's a lot to this being
yeah,
and as there is bodybuilding has become especially for about the women, it's become a big finish. A lot of guys talk
yeah.
about OnlyFans, stuff like that. It's the
Oh
way
yeah,
to make income, and it's not for
yeah.
everybody.
I don't hate on that hustle. I do not hate on that hustle because I tell you, if I had no husband and kids, Okay. Like, make your money. You do you. Like, I hate on no one's hustle in life. Everybody got
Yeah,
to do what they got to do.
yeah,
I firmly believe that.
yeah. Remember the movie
Make that
Players
money.
Club, make the money, don't let the money make you.
Amen.
This is from a man balls deep. He says, what do she want to accomplish in female bodybuilding? So she always says she want to be an Olympia, but what would you want out of the sport? What do you think you
So,
want out of the sport for yourself?
I mean, I've honestly already gotten what I want out of the sport. The short term goal was to see what I could do with it, to see if I could stick with it, be healthy enough to continue to move on. That happened. Continuing to improve my physique, that keeps happening. So, for me, I'm like, till the wheels fall off. Like, if things just keep getting better with age, I'm gonna keep going. Like, I'm gonna go until either the pocketbook or, the body says stop. One of the two has got to stop me. Um, but yeah, so, it was that chase of that pro card, and then it's kind of like, okay, now what? Well, okay, now I'd love to get on that stage. And now that they brought the Masters back every other year, that's a possibility too, right? Masters Olympia's out there,
Hmm.
which, hey, I'm game for that too. So, I'm just, right now, I'm chasing the W's. I'm gonna keep chasing, trying to get those wins and try to get me a qualifier at some point and step up on that stage. And, it would be great for my boys to see that, hey, mom's had these dreams, and you can have these just crazy wild dreams, and you can make them happen. They're possible. You can chase that dream. You can start with nothing, and you can end up, where you want to be in life if you have that determination and you set the goal. And so that's probably for me the one thing that I've really loved with the sport too, is that, my boys get to see, hey, there's no quitting. We don't quit in this house. Like, are you hurt or are you injured, right? Because if you hurt, we're gonna rub some dirt on it, and we're gonna go to Abuelo's house and get some duct tape, get a little Windex, you're back out. If you're injured, then we're gonna take you to the hospital and you're gonna get checked out. So, are you hurt or are you injured? And the mind and the body they're tough when they work together, man. You
Hmm.
can conquer the world when your mind and body are in sync. And so, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I love it. I'm addicted to it. It's fun. It's, even the pain. Hey, we've all been through some pain in life. Um, but if you can find a way to deal with that pain, and probably like a lot of bodybuilders, I probably should have went to counseling a long time ago, but I'm too old for that. So this is my counseling. This is my therapy. Got a bad day, hit the weights. Frustrated, hit the weights. Weights don't talk back, but they make you feel alive, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. The gym, like especially when the virus hit, gyms were shut down, and I think a lot of people went through
Yeah.
tough times, especially for bodybuilders.
Oh yeah.
That was their place to go. That was their church. That was
Yeah.
their therapy. They go there to work out, and they couldn't go nowhere. Or some people they build their own gyms at home, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
that when you go to, you have people that's like minded like yourself who have the same passion. You get together, you work out, you hit those weights. I remember when I was lifting weights in high school, you had those guys around and say, lock it out, lock it out, lock it out. You go, and it's like give that energy. And then you get out of high school and you start getting a job. I was holding down two jobs at the same time at one point when I
Yeah.
was younger. And just, but then when you find that passion for it, you have to have a
Mm-hmm.
passion for this.
Yeah. Gotta love
You
it.
have to,
Yeah.
yeah, I love this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, we don't hold Karrisa too long. She is going to get ready to train. She's been busy. Actually, the video was supposed to be a little early in the day, but she's a busy mom. She got a lot of stuff to do, so we had to push it back. But
My bad.
we do appreciate y'all who did come here and who are here now, who support this and support her. And so again, her social media stuff is in the description. If you want to follow her, check her out. You know my rules, guys. She has a husband. He works for the fire department. You don't want to see a fireman's ass going through your door and saying, "Who's sending this shit to my wife?" But they be respectful. But this is one thing we're gonna say with this. If anything, you already have a sponsor, but an extra sponsor would help you out. But you don't want this
Yeah.
guy saying, "Hey, Chris, I see those
Yeah.
pictures. Yeah, you got me kind of excited. If I do something for you, yeah, no,
I
no,
think I
no,
think we've all
no.
hit a few blocks. I think we've all hit that block button a few times.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
I've had many stories. They tell me like, but
yeah.
this is what you ladies really need. You said, Mrs. Ontario Hardgrove, I have a plan for you. If you're interested in it, we want you to be a sponsor for our product. So we'll lay out the plans for you and your process. We'll help you out, and in turn, you just represent our company. So if you're interested in this, just sign the paperwork. Make sure everything's all right and correct. You can talk with your husband and we'll work with you. And all we want is you to see successful. And if you're successful, we're successful. That's what I think a lot of you ladies deserve the opportunity of.